I've been that guy. While you was at home doing this, I was in the club making moves.
JakePaul, if this is not going to be, curated into a little dance around exhibition, could find himself in the way of getting seriously hurt here, like Francis Ngannou did. Francis Ngannou was an MMA fighter that got blasted out by Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua has finally broken his silence after JakePaul's new training footage sent shockwaves across social media, with fans dissecting every slow-motion punch and power combo from Paul's latest camp video. Joshua's reaction adds fresh fuel to the growing hype. As a former unified heavyweight champion, AJ isn't easily impressed, but he's clearly paying attention. And with Paul looking sharper, faster, and more disciplined than ever, Joshua's response hints at both respect for Paul's improvements and confidence that experience will prevail when the two finally touch gloves on fight night.
Anthony Joshua should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua, really, in my view. It's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because JakePaul's an area-level fighter, a British area-level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, mate.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves.
But even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing he doesn't like it, but you can see the glitz of dollars.
There's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price
Agree
on
with
the
you.
planet in order to...
Back when Paul was still cutting teeth in boxing, Joshua offered what many considered a surprisingly cordial endorsement in a 2025 interview when asked about Paul. Joshua simply said he's good for boxing. That early comment showed a willingness to acknowledge Paul's role in elevating public interest in the sport, even if many doubted his long-term prospects. Fast forward to the present, the fight is no longer hypothetical, and the stakes have soared. Paul, with a 12-1 record and 7 KOs, steps in as the biggest challenge of his career. Joshua, once a unified world heavyweight champion, carries a 28-4 record.
Fight Anthony Joshua now. How do you think that's going to go?
Man, Anthony Joshua, I don't know why I think Anthony Joshua would knock him out. No disrespect to JakePaul, I think Anthony Joshua would knock him out. I'm saying like within like 2-3 rounds.
Yeah.
You saw what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou?
Yeah.
Come on. I've never seen Francis get knocked out.
Yeah, that was huge too.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
huge.
both huge.
Yeah, he's huge. But you gotta hear the story. You gotta get Francis Ngannou in here and hear this story though.
I'd love to.
Bro, he was set up though, for real. I believe
On that fight?
Yeah, I believe him. Cause here's what they do, like what sometimes what people don't understand. Like in boxing too, I don't know a whole lot about boxing. You know, when you fight for promotion, they promote that fighter. So he's fighting in Saudi Arabia. So they was probably fighting at 3 a.m. and they had him in the locker room since like 12.
In their first public face-off during the press conference on November 21st, Joshua didn't mince words. He emphasized the professionalism of the bout, underscoring that it is a massive, colossal, and high-profile sporting event combining marketability with skills. He warned that his focus is solely on the fight, no mercy. At the press conference for their upcoming bout scheduled for December 19th, Paul was asked what he expects to weigh. He responded that he had recently been cutting weight for a different fight, meaning he'd been working to drop pounds, which makes the jump to this heavyweight showdown more challenging. He estimated his weight somewhere between roughly 215 pounds and 225 pounds.
Team, nothing negative. He's here to do his job. I could sit up here, as I said, and try and address all the things that Jake doesn't do good. But I'm fighting the Jake that's going to do everything good on December 19th. So let me focus on that. He's a good person, does his thing, great team around him, puts in the work, and that's why he's sitting here now. Anyone out there in the world that works harder than the next person deserves to be a front runner, and he's a front runner in the boxing game right now.
Respect. Jake, can I ask, it feels to me from afar, you're in a bit of a lose-lose here, because it seems like a lot of people want to see you get obliterated, right? A lot of people want to see you get your comeuppance. And if you do pull off the upset, or if this fight goes the distance, again, the whispers will start to come. People will discredit you. People will say, this, that, and the other about the fight. How do you balance that, and how do you deal with that?
Man, I've already won at every single thing in life. I'm playing on house money. I've accomplished all my dreams, said everything I was gonna do, from becoming, the first influencer to become an actor on Disney, to becoming the biggest YouTuber in the world, to rising to the top of boxing and having the largest viewed fight in the history of the sport. I've accomplished everything, so this is a win-win and another challenge for myself. I've never been knocked down or knocked out even in sparring, but I'm in a sport where that happens, and I know this is dangerous, but this is no different than a soccer player, you know, losing in the World Cup on the biggest stage. If that's how it goes, if I take one of those punches that Francis Ngannou took and I'm on the canvas, let's see how tough I am. Let's see if I can get back up. But I'm ready for that. I'm prepared for that mentally, and I know that he has to deal with me as well. This is not as one-sided fight as people think, and I have power. I have the ability to put people to sleep, and so that's why I took this challenge. And I know it's crazy and all of that, but I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. My team's excited, and everyone believes in me, and that's all that matters.
How much do you expect to weigh on fight night?
Man, I was cutting down for Gervonta, so it's been a little tough getting back up in some strength for this, but anywhere 215 to 225, we'll see.
Okay, and I want to clear something up with you, AJ. I saw on the press release that it said that on weigh-in day, you can't weigh above 245, but post weigh-ins, you can weigh whatever you want. There's no rehydration clause or anything like that. Is that accurate?
Whatever it says, yeah, I think that's the case, but my focus, 111 kilograms is what I got to weigh in at, right? I do kilograms, not
Yeah,
pounds.
I don't know. You stumped me on that one. What is 111? Should I look it up?
JakePaul says this fight is his moment to shut up every critic who has always claimed he only picks small or washed-up opponents. He argues that by facing AnthonyJoshua, a true heavyweight and former world champion, he's finally proving he can compete at the highest level. According to Paul, when he beats Joshua, every doubt disappears. No one can deny me. The JakePaul vs. AnthonyJoshua fight will be a fully sanctioned professional heavyweight bout under the Marquis of Queensberry rules. They'll fight over 8 rounds, each lasting 3 minutes, and both boxers must wear 10-ounce gloves. Crucially, Joshua must weigh in at no more than 245 pounds, adding a strict limit to keep things competitive. A winter loss will count on each fighter's professional record. This is the real deal.
Fight a real boxer. They said, fight someone your size. They said, fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed fighters for me to fight. The world. Make no mistake, this is the biggest fight of my career. I'm walking into the lion's den. I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before. I, JakePaul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass AnthonyJoshua Friday, December 19th, live on Netflix. My voice cracked, I'm still going through puberty. The biggest fight of 2025, USA versus UK. He's got the belts, the size, the history, but I have the balls. Be careful what you wish for. Jake versus Joshua. Judgment Day. He has a 90% knockout ratio, but I have 100%.
Teddy Atlas has a cautiously intrigued take on the JakePaul vs. AnthonyJoshua fight. While he warns that it might be a step too far for Paul given the huge gap in class and experience, he doesn't dismiss the matchup outright. He points to Joshua's recent knockout loss and long layoff, suggesting that some ghosts in his attic could make him vulnerable. Despite acknowledging that Joshua remains the more skilled and powerful puncher, Atlas says he's willing to take that step to find out what version of AJ will show up.
Having said all of that, this might be a step too far. Now, when I say it, I'm also, I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step, where you could twist an ankle, or worse, you could break a leg or fall down. When I say that with the understanding too that Joshua's coming off being knocked out. Joshua hasn't fought for a year, right? But it's about a year. And there's some ghost in his attic. There are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten rid of some of them, but I know that in the position of a fighter coming where he's coming from, there are ghosts in your attic. I don't know if those ghosts are still taking up space. I don't know if maybe there could be no better exorcism for those ghosts than fighting a Jake Paul. That might be just the exorcism you need to clear out the attic. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. That's the mystery part of this. That's what makes it so, it makes it two things at once. Intriguing and...
Ryan Garcia discusses the potential life-changing impact on Jake Paul if he loses. He points out that Joshua's power is not to be underestimated and that a defeat could affect Paul not only in the immediate physical sense but also in terms of reputation and career trajectory. The experience could be transformative, highlighting the immense challenge Paul faces. Garcia emphasizes that Joshua's punching power and skill make this fight a serious test, and the consequences of failure are tangible. Training, preparation, and awareness are critical for Paul to navigate the risks that Joshua's presence in the ring presents. One of the major concerns around Joshua taking on Jake Paul is that AJ has only had 2 fights in the past 2 years. After a split decision loss to Alexander Usyk in 2022, Joshua has been more sporadic.
By far, AnthonyJoshua.
AnthonyJoshua?
By far?
Yeah. Too easy.
Why did he take that fight?
I think he didn't have no opponents and he wanted to make Netflix happy and he I think he made a misstep. I think he was handling his career perfectly.
Yeah.
I think he would have beat Gervonta.
I think he would have beat Gervonta too.
But I think this is a big misstep. I think he let his ego get in from him.
Jake Paul stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua isn't just a huge gamble. Many experts believe it's a major risk to his health. Boxing insiders such as Ariel Helwani warned that Joshua's raw power and experience could expose Paul to serious damage, citing brutal knockouts as a genuine concern.